We've had a lot of people come on and talk about some advanced market stuff, and I think all that stuff is great. I think IULs are phenomenal. I love annuities, but at the end of the day, we got a lot of new people on this call, and people want to know how they can get up and running. And watching and hearing your story, that is exactly the way a new person gets into this business and gets up and running and has success with what you've done. And you're not like someone who's been here or been in the business 10 years. You said you just started 2 years or not, a year and a half ago. So if you could just kind of introduce yourself to everyone in the group, tell everyone where you came from, and what you did last year and then what you're doing this year. And I'm sure we're gonna have a bunch of questions for you, but I appreciate you being on our call tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you for having me on, and yeah, your team's killing it, bro. It was awesome to hear them stats.
Thank you.
But, yeah, so I started the business finishing up my last year in college, December of 2021. I was finishing with the business finance and management degree. So I heard about FFL. My buddy Wiley was talking to me about it. It probably took him like 20 months worth of just him slowly dripping on me, calling me every once in a while, like telling me what he's doing and how he's doing it.
It took 2 years to recruit you.
Yeah, 20 months, a little under.
Got
And
it.
yeah, I was just slowly watching his story and finishing up college. I was making payments, working full time. I was at an internship, cold calling places, and I was working at a used car lot, selling cars for buy here, pay here lots. And man, the car prices shot up and it wasn't looking pretty. All I know is I was going to graduate in 30 days, and I didn't really have a plan. I knew I could have worked in a bank and got a license somewhere. So I came across this opportunity and I was like, if it's real, it's real. But, if it's not real, I'm going to give myself 30 days at least to try it out, so I don't say I missed the opportunity. So I just quit my job on the spot. I probably had about $2,000 to my name, and I got contracted, got it going. And while I was finishing up school, studying for my finals, I would book appointments on Thursday, and I would run Friday, Saturday in the field. And yeah, that first month just running part-time, I probably saw about $7,000, and I was like, this is real. And I got my degree, and that's when I took off full-time with it.
Wow. So how much, right out of the gate, you had $2,000. How much of that did you invest in leads?
I was about $600, $650. I was pretty scared.
Okay. But you turned 600 into 7,000, you said?
Yeah.
Got it. And how long were you doing that part-time before you quit and said, all right, I'm going to do this full time?
Just until I got that degree, and the new year came and I was full time.
Okay. So for a month. And you went to that conference in 2022. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
What was the power of getting to that national? It was actually a national convention. What did that do for you in terms of
I honestly think that helped skyrocket my production by a boatload, because it was my first full-time month. Before then, I'd probably done right around like 18,000 issue paid. And like the business was starting to make sense. If someone charged back, I seen it. I've been no-showed. I've been canceled on. And I was starting to understand the business completely. So once I went to the convention and I was seeing people like Shadi, people, English wasn't their first language. And like they had thick accents, it was noticeable. And I was like, dude, if these people are up there making $4, $5, $6, $7, $800,000, why the hell can I do it? That's literally the only thing that was in my mind. If they're doing it, there's no reason in the world why I can't do it. So I just sat there and absorbed the training, that entire time. And like, I was ready to get back booking appointments in the field the next day out of the conference. But
yeah.
And after I got out that conference, my production literally almost tripled. And ever since then, I don't think I saw a month less than 30, 35 families.
Got it. When you, right out the gate, what kind of, from our conversation earlier, you started out with ILC leads, right?
Yep. Internet leads.
And how long, were you buying brand new ILC or were you buying aged?
I was getting a mix of them, honestly. Like I'd get some instance in the area, throw a little news in there and mix it with some 1 months. And I'd have anywhere from 120 to 150 leads. And I would just dial them all until I had 15, 20 appointments booked. And I did that. I went on with that for probably about 3 to 4 months, just straight internet leads.
Got it. And then what did you do after internet leads? What did you graduate up to?
So after the internet leads, I worked my way up. I got over 20, 30,000 producing, and then I started getting into mail.
Okay.
That's when I started hearing about this mail, locking out mail, exclusive, and all this stuff. So I literally just ran, I'd say like 80% mail and 20% internet for maybe like 6, 7 months like that following. And I would just keep adding counties, adding counties. And that's what I did in person. I was running anywhere from 40 to 50 appointments a week. And I did that probably for like maybe like 25, 30 weeks straight, maybe more.
And how much were you spending at that point on a weekly
Dude,
basis?
it was pretty bad, man. It was probably to the point of like $5,000, $6,000 a week.
Wow, you were spending. Okay.
And like,
Okay.
dude, I would sign up for this mail and like I'd sell policies out of it. It wasn't bad, but like at the time being a new agent, in my head, I was like, dude, all these people are writing bigger premium they're paying more for the lead. Like it only makes sense,
Yeah.
I just got strapped with that mindset. And dude, after running it for a few months, I broke the numbers down and I was like, dude, I'm spending all this damn money running around, traveling, doing all this, just, make a couple $1,000. Like, dude, this isn't it.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to go back to that, dude. You come here and you only had 2,000 in the bank, and then you get up to dropping five grand a week. You probably realize you're not making a ton of money. Your numbers look good, but you weren't making a ton of money. Is that when you finally made the decision to come out of the field and do something different and stop spending all that money?
Yeah, so this was the time when people are starting, they're going viral with the telesales, like I'll work from home, there's no need to go in the field. And people are doing it, telesales, no Zooms.
Okay.
So that's when I was still kind of nervous. I had the mail and like I was like, dude, to get rid of this mail, like I'm just gonna have to drop it and figure it out. This isn't duplicatable, it's not replicatable. Like I can't teach anybody how to do this. It's not how you build a business properly.
No, that's
So,
a crazy amount of money being spent. So you did all that last year and you've done a lot. I mean, to go from having 2 grand in the bank to spending 5 grand a week on marketing is absolutely insane. Before we jump to 23, what was your schedule like full time? How did you work as an agent?
So I mean, yeah, Monday, Thursday were my dial days. Like 8 a.m. I was on the phone and I wasn't off the phones until I had 20, 25 appointments. It was literally until 6:30, 7:30, whatever it took. I didn't really care. I was just on the phones. And then I was in the field. I'd have to drive, an hour, hour and a half out. Sometimes I'd leave the house at 6:30, 7 a.m., bro. And I wouldn't be back till like 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Wow. And you did 560 your first year?
518.
518, but you probably spent like 200 grand, right, in leads.
Yeah, a little over, honestly.
All right. So then what made you finally say, I mean, I can't keep spending that kind of money and driving all over. Did you just realize that I'm not profitable doing it this way?
Yeah, man, just looking at the numbers, talking with like other people in the agency that some people were running mail, whatever else someone else was doing. I would just talk with people and like, dude, it was like I needed a second voice in my head saying, just drop it, just drop it.
Got
And
it.
yeah, I just realized like, dude, it's all up to me. I've sold internet leads before and I've sold Facebook leads. Like there's nothing special between the mailer or the internet lead. And it was just all in my head.
You were a lot more profitable before you started messing around with the mail, weren't you?
100% more profitable.
There we go. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what counts. People look at some of these big numbers and you're burning through 5 grand. I mean, you were making more money just doing internet leads out of the ILC.
Yeah.
All right. So talk to us about the transition into telesales. What did that look like? And how did you make that decision to start buying Facebook final expense?
Yeah, absolutely. So I honestly tried it a little bit with the final expense mailers. Like I saw people doing call to closes and like, dude, I was getting objections. Like I thought this was for Medicare. I thought this was free, this and that. And like, dude, every time someone said that, I was like, there's $50 in the toilet and the trash. And dude, it just probably went on like that for a few weeks. And I was like, I'm done. I just emailed the lead department. I actually texted this like, does anybody want any of these counties? Let me know tonight. If not, they're gone. And then I just dropped it from there while they were trickling in. I placed the order of Facebook leads and like I just kind of like forced myself to, to do it. Stay in the Zoom with other guys that were doing telesales at the time And if they weren't on my team, like I'd find a Zoom to do telesales with. I would go in the Slack like, hey, is there any other Zooms open doing call to closes? Just so I can listen to how people are tweaking it, the little difference. Like I knew I could sell, but selling over the phone was completely new to me. I wasn't there in their face where, they can see me and I can show them my license. So it definitely did take some adjusting to do. But once I realized at the end of the day, it's always a numbers game, no matter what. Like when we'd go in the field, I'd shoot for, 50 appointments a week to maybe sit with like 25, 30 of them and just to close like 10 or 15 of them, And I looked at it like this way. I was like, dude, if I can just focus on getting like 5, 6, 7 presentations a day, I can close 3, 4 at a 50% ratio. That makes me terrible, like statistically, but like numbers wise, like 3, 4 policies a day, dude, that's not bad.
Absolutely not.
2 policies.
How much are you closing every week now over the phone?
I averaging like anywhere from 10 to 14,000.
And when you gave us that number the other day, the first thing I always do is I go look at the leaderboard that everyone has access to. And I was like, yeah, he's telling the truth. You're at 300 grand. I was like, yeah, he's not lying. So that's the first thing I do is go and look at the numbers. So it's legit. Initially, when you started, where were you getting Facebook leads from?
So like, dude, I was getting them from all different types of vendors, Game Time, TTC, Happy Agent. I even tried like an individual guy and like just testing out the different leads. And from there, I was kind of able, it like opened it up in my mind. Cause like I would see one vendor, they'd have all these extra questions, like beneficiary, how would be the best time to call them. And obviously more questions, more money, So we're back to square one. Like I didn't want to spend $50 lead, but I'm spending 25 now. Yeah. 20 to 25. So like I'm still saving money, but like, dude, I know there's room for improvement. So that's whenever I started messing around with one of my business partners, and we figured out like you don't need all that extra stuff on there. You just simply need someone that had sent in a request with their name and birthday, and I promise you that's all you need. All that extra stuff is out the window.
What are you collecting now? Name, birthday, and phone number? That's it on your lead?
That's all I need.
Well, how many leads are you generating a week now?
So a week, I'd say anywhere from 240 to 320 leads a week.
All right. And what is your lead spend right now?
I'd average it anywhere from 1,800 a week to 2,200 a week.
So much, but dude, you're going to be so much more profitable than you were last year.
Dude, I already saw the difference, but you don't gotta tell me. I've already seen the big difference, man.
Absolutely incredible. Let's go through. Everyone always asks, they want to know exactly phone script. Everyone thinks it's phone script, so let's go over it. When you're calling a Facebook final expense lead, let's hear how you do or do you do one call close? You call and set appointments?
Yeah, so I'm always going to shoot for the one call close unless they're like driving or working.
All right, let's go through that so everyone can learn how to do that.
Absolutely. Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Hey, Mike, this is Nasser. I was just calling you from the benefits office right here in Kentucky. Just wanted to let you know we did get the request you submitted to our office for the state discounted final expense programs. I was just the medical underwriter here assigned to your file. And just to confirm, you put your birthday August 5th, 1975. Is that correct?
Correct.
Perfect. So Mike, my job's super simple. As the medical underwriter, I'm just the one that goes over the eligibility with you and sees what all you do qualify for the different discounted final expense programs. Now, Mike, are you able to grab a paper and pen handy? That way you can take down my credentials, sir?
Yes, I definitely can.
Okay, just let me know whenever you're ready.
Got it. All
righty, go ahead and write down my name. So it's going to be Nasser. That's N as in NASCAR, ASSER. And then after that, Mike, I'm going to have you write down my Kentucky State DOI ID number. And that's abbreviated for Department of Insurance. Okay?
Okay.
And that number is 115-3469. And then if you can repeat that to me, Mike, to make sure that's correct.
115-3469.
Perfect. So Mike, again, that number right there is like my work social security number. That's how I'm able to get identified through the state of Kentucky as a licensed and active professional that's been appointed. Now, Before we dive into everything today, Mike, was your main concern like most families, where you just wanted to make sure, God forbid, when something happens to you, that your burial or cremation doesn't fall a burden on anybody, or were you wanting to cover anything else like leaving a legacy behind?
I wanted to make sure I wasn't a burden on anyone.
Absolutely, sir. That's why most families send this request in. Do you currently have anything like this in place, Mike?
No, I do not.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, it definitely makes sense to go over the eligibility, sir. So what I'm looking at right here in front of me is what we call the client suitability sheet. This is just going to help me best guide how to serve you and the family. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to spend about a minute or so on yourself and financial situation. That way we're able to see exactly how much coverage you do need. And we make sure whatever plan you customize is going to be affordable and within the budget, because that's going to be the most important thing today, Mike. And typically we don't have a problem with that, like you read, because these are designed for fixed and low income earners like Social Security and disability. So affordability is usually not an issue. And
Okay.
then we're going to spend about 2 minutes on your health, Mike. And that's just going to help me navigate which one of the 30 A-rated carriers would most likely give you the best benefit today. Does that all make sense?
Yes, it does.
Perfect. Now, Mike, have you ever gave it much thought if you were to ever be buried or cremated, sir?
I want to be buried.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, God forbid, Mike, you pass away today. Who's going to be the beneficiary picking up the pieces tomorrow?
My wife,
Gotcha. And her name, Mike?
Susan.
And same last name?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Mike, were you just looking for coverage for yourself today or for the both of you?
Just for me. She already has coverage.
Okay, gotcha. And then is she there needed to go over the process, or do you pretty much handle all this by yourself?
I handle it all by myself.
Okay, absolutely. Now, Mike, do you know how much a burial costs here in the state nowadays?
I was told it's about 12,000.
Yeah, you're right on the point. So it really just depends on a few factors, mainly being the fanciness, the elegance, opening and closing, what all gets done. But the average burial here in the state is going to be anywhere from $9,000 all the way up to $18,000. So 9,000 being the bare minimum, and 10, 12 is going to be a proper burial as of today. Not really factored in, inflation, God willing, you're still here 5, 10, 15 years down the road.
Okay.
Now, Mike, do you have any type of life insurance? Or Mike, you said you don't have any type of life insurance in place. That is correct, right?
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, what's the main reason you don't have any type of life insurance in place, Mike? Is it just due to affordability, eligibility,
Yeah,
affordability?
yeah.
Absolutely, sir. That's why most families do say that, and that's why these programs were designed in the first place. Now, Mike, just like me and everybody else, you don't have $10,000, $15,000 just saved up.
No, I don't.
No, I don't think anybody can nowadays. But no, unfortunately, it is sad, but a lot of clients do say something like they're worth more dead than they are alive, and it is sad, but it is true. Okay. And then, so your main focus for this plan right here, Mike, are you just really wanting to focus on that burial, or you wanting to leave your wife, Susie, any extra money behind?
I'd like to leave an extra 10,000 behind.
Okay, absolutely. So coverage wise, we're gonna be looking at about, I'd say 10 to 15,000 for the burial. And then you're wanting to leave about $10,000 behind for the wife, correct?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. Now, Mike, let me spin back to this real quick, just so I can properly serve you. So we said the main reason you don't have any type of life insurance is due to affordability, right?
Right.
Okay. So just so I can properly serve you, what's something that's considered affordable for you, to make sure that your burial's covered and that you're able to leave your wife some extra money? Because keep in mind, Mike, something like this, it shouldn't be a burden on you where it's taking food off the table. Or we got to make sure you can afford it, all year round, whether Christmas rolls around, you get a flat truck. We just got to make sure that it's affordable. So what's something that you'd be comfortable with every month, whether it be, $40 to $60, $80 to $100? What's something that you're comfortable with to make sure your burial's covered and your wife has 10,000 extra?
I can't afford any more than 165 a month.
Okay,
That's
absolutely.
my limit.
Yes, sir. So, Mike, I'm going to try my very best to make sure we stay well below that 165. and we make sure that burial's covered and your wife's taken care of. Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
And then from there, I go into, all right, a little bit on yourself, Mike, first name, last name, birthday, working, retired, or disabled. If they say retired, I like to say something like how much you collect a month from the Social Security, and then 1,100. And then I think this is key right here, especially for telesales. Say, okay, Mike, now for your Social Security every month, does that go into a local bank here in town, or is it one of these state issued direct express cards?
Okay. I like that.
And then yeah, that's gonna eliminate where you get to the end or I already have a card.
Yep.
And then from there, I'm just going into the health. And then one thing I like to say, so after I get their prescriptions and I'm getting ready to show them numbers, I like to say something like, all right, Mike, so the way that this coverage works, this isn't like going into your local grocery store or Walmart where you can just go in there and see it, like it, buy it like a loaf of bread. With this kind of thing, we do have to get approved for it. So the reason I asked you all those different health questions is because the carrier is going to look at something that's called the Medical Information Bureau. Are you familiar with it?
No, never heard of it.
Okay, so it's also abbreviated for the MIB. It's just a compilation of your prescriptions, medical records, and hospitalizations over the last several years. That's just how they're able to identify, one, that you are Mike, two, that you don't have any AIDS, heart attack, and you're not going to drop dead tomorrow. That's how we're able to get that immediate day one coverage without having to have paramedics come out there and do that funky business with the blood work. Now, unfortunately, it's not up to me to approve you, Mike. If it was, I'd approve everybody. It's going to be up to the carrier. Now, the good thing about the plan is you're going to be the one that customizes it. I'm just going to be the one that helps explain everything and guide you throughout the entire process. Okay.
Okay.
Now, here in a second, I'm going to have you write down the benefits of your plan. And then I'll have him write down immediate, day one, locked in, price never increase, coverage never decrease, tax-free, the living benefit, terminal illness, 12, 24 months to live. You'll have access to 50% of it, cash value, double accidental and permanent. And then what I've been doing, like, for example, for that situation, I would have showed you $20,000, for example, 20,000 natural, 40,000 accident. All right, Mike. So this is what I'm going to recommend to make sure that your burial is taken care of and we leave Susie $10,000 behind. 20,000 natural, 40,000 accident with the living benefit. That one's going to be $125 a month. Now, Mike, this one is going to be the lowest one. Based off what you're telling me, this is what I'm going to recommend. But how do you feel about that? Would you want to look at more coverage? Would you want to look at less? Or would you want to go ahead and apply for this one?
I want to apply for it.
Okay, perfect. So the next step, Mike, we're going to go ahead and start the application process. Super simple. Just spend a minute or so on yourself, basic information, where the policy will get sent to. I'll spend another minute confirming your health. Just because I'm required to by law, I pretty much know the answer to all of them. We'll confirm the beneficiaries, and then they're going to allow you to select what date you want the coverage to start, Mike. Okay.
Okay.
And then just to confirm your birthday, and then just right in there, go into it.
So I like that at the end, you say, does that price work for you? Do we need to show less, more, or do you want to apply now? Right? And then,
Yeah, I mean, dude, if we make it that far, bro, after telling them, affordability, find something within your budget, most of the time you'll close them. Because like you've already eliminated most of the objections.
got it. Wow. That's powerful. So are you using a dialer, or are you hand dialing?
Yes. So when my leads come through brand new every day, I actually hand dial them.
Okay.
I've always enjoyed hand dialing. I've never liked dialers.
Uh-huh.
Now, what I do at the end of the week, say I got my 300 leads or whatever, I'm throwing them into a system called Ringy. I'm
Mhm.
not sure if you guys are familiar with it.
Yep.
What it does, it's texting them for 4 days straight, just straight dripping on them. People that never picked up, never answered. Dude, they're replying to these texts like the second it gets out. And like,
Yeah.
you'll see, they'll start calling you like, hey, I got a text for the final expenses. And I'm usually able to close like an extra 3 policies a week just off by doing that.
So you do that, what, every Friday or every Saturday?
I do it. It depends on like how my week went. Like Saturday, if I'm itching for a few more, I'm gonna throw it in there Saturday morning. But like if it's a busy week, I'm just gonna save it till Monday morning.
Okay. People are asking what the system is. It's Ringy that he's using.
Yeah, it's called the Ringy CRM. I want to say it's like $106 a month,
Yeah,
and it's an extra dollar for an additional line. So
got it.
yeah, I like to use that.
That's awesome. And you've been people were asking, I saw earlier on asking which leads do you like? You've obviously worked all the leads, but I think your favorite lead is probably the one that gives you the best ROI, right?
Yeah,
The
dude,
final expense.
my advice for every single one of you, I've spent $80 on a lead, $85 on a lead, $50 on a lead, $30 on a lead, $20, $10 on a lead. You name it. And
Mhm,
I promise you, all leads are terrible and all leads are amazing.
mhm.
And the way I look at it, I'd rather pay $4, $5, $6 for a lead than pay $50, $80 a lead for someone to tell me I thought this was free.
Absolutely. What is your schedule now doing telesales?
So now my schedule, I'm not waking up at like 4 or 5 a.m. like any of these guys will tell you. I just wake up at like 7 a.m., dude, not too early, not too late. Go to the gym real quick, eat my breakfast, and I'm on the phones by 9 a.m. And dude, I take a lunch anywhere from like 12 to 2 o'clock, just really depending on like the appointment to the closing. I used to not eat lunch till like I closed one or two. But that went on for a while.
Yeah,
And then yeah, I take a 30-minute hour lunch and like, dude, I'm on the phones till like 7, 8 o'clock most days.
got it. So you're just having fun now, man, right?
Dude, I love what we do, bro. Like we're on the Zooms, like we're laughing, sitting there having a blast with the clients. If someone's not happy, like, dude, I'm gonna laugh about it over instead of being mad about it. Like they're just gonna hang up. And I'll
Yeah.
just call the next person.
Your leads that are coming in, do you have them going directly to your email or are they going into a CRM for you to call?
So they're just going into a Google Sheet,
And you're calling them right out of the Google Sheet.
right out the Google Sheet, old school style.
I like it, man, because sometimes people are brand new and they come here and you ask someone why they're not working and they're like, I haven't got my CRM set up. I haven't got this. I'm like, you don't need any of that
Mm-mm.
at
All
all.
you need, yeah, all you need is a will, a number, and a birthday, and that's all you need.
I
Like
love it.
he just said in the chat, a lead is only as good as you are,
That is
regardless of what the lead type is.
that is true. How many dials do you think you're making a day?
Mm, anywhere from 3 to 600
And manual dial, no
manual
system.
dials.
Got it. People want to know, are you generating the leads yourself? I think you did tell me you had someone build out a Facebook campaign in your ad manager. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Got it. The guy that you had do that, what did it cost to build that out?
It was a few $1,000s.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Got
then
it.
yeah, now we're just pretty much having all our agents just run straight Facebook, and we think that that's key really.
If you call someone and they're busy, they're in a doctor's appointment, they're driving, what do you say? Do you set an appointment there? Or what do you do in that instance?
So what I've noticed with telesales, like, dude, an appointment's just as good as just calling somebody. Like
Yeah.
they'll just say, call me back at 5. There's no tying it down. So I'll just straight up tell them, like, hey, what time are you usually home? They're like, oh, I'm home usually at 5 most days.
All right.
And then I'll just get it that way. I'll make a note right there
Mhm.
after 5. I'll call
Got
them
it.
after 5. If they're not there, I might spin back them on another day after 5, you know?
Okay. Let's talk about you're building a team now. You said your group, you're VP, your group did 180,000. How many people are on your team right now?
So I'd say there's about 7 active writers.
Okay. And everyone that comes in, are you immediately showing them, are they building their own Facebook campaign? Are you giving them old Facebook leads? How are you getting new agents up and running?
Yeah, so I don't want them to spend any money learning. You know, I'd rather have them learn at a much, much lower expense, you know? So
Okay.
their first week or two, like I'm just giving them leads like I've just dialed once or twice.
Okay.
I'm constantly getting leads like, dude, I've dialed these leads through once. Like I guarantee you there's 5 policies waiting to be sold in there.
Got it. You're the next agent, your agency, what's their what's the next guy behind you? How much premium are they doing a month?
So I mean, I'd say it's Ronnie. He's in here 0 dark 30.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, his team's doing right under 50% of mine. And he
Got it.
started maybe like 4 months ago.
Oh wow, brand
But
brand
yeah,
new.
yeah, he's got some momentum.
and already rolling. How much does he close on a monthly basis?
So I'd say like part-time wise, he'll do anywhere from 15 to 30K. He's got a couple different businesses.
I love it. We got a couple more minutes. Anyone have any questions for Nasser before we let him go and wrap up for the night?
What's his lead spend per day on or per week on his Facebook leads?
So yeah, I keep it anywhere like 150 to 200 a day. So it comes out to like 1,800 to 2,000 a week, I'd say. Sometimes it'll overflow.
I have a question. Thank you for taking your time out tonight to give this information. Did you set up the lead campaign yourself on Facebook, or did you have a company set it up for you?
So whenever I did it, there was an ATP code that had set it up, but I think I can find it real quick. I just sent it to somebody. Let me look at these messages real quick. It should automatically set up from the A2P code, but if not, you can just reach out Instagram or by number, and I'd be willing to help you out.
Heck yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, and keep killing it.
Thank you.
I have one real quick. Thank you. Thank you for coming through, man. This has been really helpful. What do you do? How do you respond to the objection? I don't remember filling that out.
Yeah, perfect. I usually don't remember what I eat for breakfast most days, but you put your birthday August 5th, 1955.
Yes.
Anything they
Just go
say,
for
bro,
it.
just tell them perfect. Just agree and just overcome it.
Appreciate it.
Like
Always.
someone, tell me I already got it. I literally tell them like perfect. That makes my job a whole lot easier. Were you trying to save some money with the state discounted programs, or are you trying to add coverage? And I think it all goes back into like the tone and the way you respond, you know, because if you come off trying to like get the objection, like, no, you need this, that, if you just come off like super chill, mellow, like a government worker, I truly think you can say anything and these people wouldn't be phased.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I have another question. So tell me, what is your schedule like when building while being able to sell at a high level?
Yeah, so the most efficient way I've seen it was like just being in the Zoom with all the guys and having a separate group chat as well if like I'm not able to hear someone or see the chat, and just being on demand 24/7. Really, like the Zoom's super helpful with that, because like a guy can literally hit mute and be like, yo, she has this or she said this, and we can just tell them on the spot to help them. And I think like actually being on the Zoom and like showing these guys like I'm calling the same leads as you, I'm on the same time as you, like there's no like, you know, it's possible. There's no need to reinvent the wheel, and I think Zoom's really helpful with that, especially for telesales.
Perfect. Do you have a recruiter, or are you recruiting the people yourself, the agents?
No, so like I'm gonna be honest, like last year I did try like a bunch of cold market recruiting, like ZipRecruiter, Indeed, like put thousands of dollars into that. And like don't get me wrong, like I got numbers in, but the cold market, I don't know, it could have been my hiring not setting the right expectations. But from what I've seen, like Ronnie, for example, he's my warm market. Or Diego, for example, he's my warm market. Like I've seen the most serious people and like the ones that tend to take more action is from warm market. So that's truly what I've seen. And Mike, yeah, I was gonna say I need to be on a whole call for learning how to recruit, but I'm sure you can agree with that as well.
Oh, absolutely. Warm market is definitely the way to go. I get
Definitely.
it. Yeah.
And then I just keep posting on my Instagram. Like last year I did travel a lot. Like I went to Hawaii twice for like 14 days. I went to Alaska, Texas, all over. And like I would just sit there posting on my Instagram story, and people are like, what the hell are you doing? Like, how are you able to do this or go there? And I mean, that's how I got Ronnie here.
I think that's an awesome way to recruit, because you said that you were watching Wiley, but you saw him putting up numbers, right?
Yeah.
Watching what he was doing. So
Yeah.
like Corinne, who was just asking the question, she's a big producer and people see what she's doing. I mean, that people will gravitate towards that when you're putting up
I
numbers.
have a question, and Mike,
What's up, Devin?
when you would go on a vacation, man, and you'll come back, was it hard readjusting, getting back? This is a question for was it hard getting back into the swing of things when you go on vacation? Like when he was like saying he takes a trip and you'll come back, it was
I don't
kind of
think he
hard
was,
for him.
you weren't going on
Was he
vacation, were you?
ever
Necessarily?
struggling?
He
Nah,
wasn't
man.
going on vacation. It was just
Yeah,
Oh
taking
no,
travel
I'm
trips.
sorry. I was asking a question. That was for the host. I forget his name. Sorry.
can't
About
hear
taking trips. That wasn't a question for you, Mike. I'm sorry. But when he was saying when he takes trips and stuff like that, I was just wondering if he found it hard coming back and readjusting back into the field and getting on the phone or something.
No. So yeah, I would when I was talking about referencing trips, I would like book travel trips and go on appointments there. But I mean, I recently came back from a 3-week vacation though, and
Oh, okay.
it's something I could say
Got
is
it.
like, just stay in the Zooms, watch the videos, stay plugged in, and just go out there with the heart to serve, bro. Like these people realize these people need our help, and you'll be good, you know.
Got it. Okay. I was just wondering because I didn't know if you were like doing travel trips to working or if you were like just taking personal trips and then when you come back you would, if you found it difficult or not getting back in the swing of things like man, like this week was rough and then like I took like a nice 1 week or 2 week trip if you found it difficult getting back into the swing of things. That's what I meant. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, no, he said it's no problem at all, man. He gets back in and get back to work. Nasir, someone asked if you mind if other people join your dial room and dial
Yeah,
room?
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind at all. We're always on all-star dials.
There you go. Someone asked what the ATP code was for.
So that's for whenever you make a Ringy account, for some reason they need like some kind of business to have the CRM. And that ATP code worked for me and all my guys.
Got it.
Yeah.
Someone wants to know what your IG account is.
Here, I'll drop it in there. _MN Nasser.
There you go. Awesome, man. I appreciate you.
I got a question. Quick.
Oh, here we go. Kevin's got a question.
Yeah, man. So I got a couple questions for you. When you were saying about the Facebook leads, I didn't understand exactly how you got the leads. I've heard a lot of people talk about the MAB leads. And so that's the question is, have you used them or is that what you use? Or do you do your own? Because I tried to do my own for a few months now and nothing really worked out real well with doing my own marketing.
Mhm.
That's one question. Another question is, do you have certain carriers that you go with and you're kind of like your go-tos?
Yeah, absolutely. So to answer your first question, no, so like it may be that's like that's like another lead vendor that's like 20, 25, 30 a lead. For our leads, like for our team, we pretty much in-house handle the leads, and that's pretty much how we're handling it now. But we are trying to make it to the point where we can like scale it for FFL other agents, and I think we should be coming to that level soon. But we just want to make sure like we're not gonna screw any agents over. We're like there'd be no leads in this area, or there's too many agents getting leads in this area. But if that ever does get opened up with the partner, I'll be sure to let you guys know.
If anyone would like, I can put out a video and show people how to create leads. We were doing it before, but it was taking way too much of my time creating campaigns for people. But it's very simple to do. We can generate leads. They come in anywhere $5 to $10. So I can put out a video and teach people how to do leads if they want.
Okay, because I actually tried the MAB leads. So I tried them. I started them about a week or two ago, and I still work full time, and they're actually working really well. So I kind of had to pause it.
Mad Media is awesome. Yeah,
I'm getting ready to like leave my full time to do it, and they were actually working. But I said I had to kind of cut it short because I don't have the time to do it. I'm working 14 hours a day as it is at work. So I guess that was one question. The other question again was, do you have a certain carriers you go with? And then also the one more that kind of came up as you were talking is when you said in the script, do you have anything in place? What if they say, yes, I do have something in place already?
Yeah, so to answer about the carriers, I personally just go with like what's gonna put the client in the best spot. Like I truly realize like giving them the highest, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day what carrier you go with. But me personally, like I like to go with SIWL. They came out with the real great product. Like, dude, you write 10 applications before the end of the year, they'll pay you $2,500, and it's super cheap, and they're pretty lenient. Like they take level or stage 1 cancers and stage 2 cancers. I really like the SIWL product, and Aetna Preferred is a good one. They probably pay the highest comp. Mutual and Americo, they're not bad. I like Mutual more than Americo simply just because they're name brand. Americo, I like them for the quit smoking advantage. Prosperity, I look at it as like AIG, SIWL. It's good to dispute it as well.
Okay.
And then the third question was the I forgot it. Oh, they already have coverage. They already have coverage.
Yeah.
So I just tell them perfect. That makes my job a whole lot easier. I figure out how long ago they got it, whether it was 6 months, a year, 10 years. And then from there, you want to figure out the company name and how much they're paying for it. And then if they've got it recently, most of the time we are able to beat it. But if say they got something like 10 years ago, I like to play it off like, oh, so great. You're just like most families, you're just wanting to add a little inflation protection. Most of the time they'll be like, oh yeah. And if they already got like 10, 15,000, I'll just add a small 5, 10,000 on top. They're happy, I'm happy, and everyone's happy.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Yeah. Cause I wrote one last weekend. Her original policy was like $165 a month for like 15 grand. But that's because she had medical problems before. And then it had been 5 years. So I wrote her one for $75. And she was like all about it. It was in home, but she all about it. So, but I did it through Mutual of Omaha. Those are the ones I've written the most, actually. They've seen it for me. There's the easiest ones to write that I've written so far. But I just wanted to, like, get your opinion on like which ones you kind of like automatically kind of draw to when you're doing these presentations or when you're doing these phone scripts.
Yeah, it really all just depends on their health, though, at the end of the day,
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate it. That's awesome.
All right.
Best of
I
luck.
missed that. Kevin, did you say which Facebook lead you said that you were getting good result with just now?
He's buying from Mab Media.
Yeah, Mad Media. They were. I did it for maybe honestly a couple of days, and I spent. I mean, they averaged out to about at first about $10 a lead. Then when I stopped it, maybe like $11 a lead. I was getting out of it. It was actually really, really good. I think the drawback is because you got to spend the $1,500 a month.
Can you guys put your numbers in the chat and then you guys can connect offline? Nasser, man, I appreciate it. We'll see everyone next Monday at 6 o'clock. Again, we do this every Monday. Our next week's guest will be KG. She's absolutely smoking it on primetime leads. She spent $1.50 a lead and showing people how to crush it. So I'll see you guys next Monday. Nasser, thanks for being on the call, buddy.